Fáilte ró a cheart again, Lí Galéir, is Missy Damien O'Neill, Ceolchoirm Colum Scéile agus Colum Camógiacht in Naomh Cille in Ireland agus Clun. Hello everyone, my name is Damien O'Neill. I'm the chairperson of Naomh Cille Hurling and Camogie Club in Clydesloe parishes, and I'd just like to welcome us all to our online concert, which promises to be a feast for everyone to enjoy. Just before I start, I would like to say a big thank you to our local Clydesloe branch of Ceolchoirm who broached this idea with us and gave us great support in putting it all together. And we're just very fortunate to have such a brilliant Ceolchoirm branch in our area, one of the finest in Ireland, without a doubt. So I also want to pay tribute to the team, the subgroup who set up the whole concert, ably led by Eamon Campbell. So there's Eamon there, and there was Tom Connolly, and there was Liam McIlvana, and Eugene Moore gave a hand there to put the whole thing together on the digital side of things. So thanks to the team, they've done a wonderful job. And just very important that I say a big thank you as well to all the participants who took part in the concert here. A lot of them all are previous score participants or people who represented the club in score over the years, and a number of noted score winners. We have a nice wee tradition in the club of score winners, again testament to our links with Ceolchoirm in the area. So before we go finish up here, I finish up a wee intro here, I just want to say again, it's a wee fundraiser for the club as well. It's great publicity for us to show the talent that we have. But if you could generously donate, it would be much appreciated. It helps the club to grow and to be vibrant in the community and to keep the game and keep the traditions alive. So if you can dig deep, it would be much appreciated. So without further ado, B'waidh of Shast Bain and Hasu, or on the vein. I'd just like everyone to stand for the national anthem. We have young Caitlin McCourt, who lives up here on the hill here, looking down on our club. And Caitlin, again, is a score champion and has sang or on the vein for the county games in Healy Park at the moment. So that's it, folks. Really enjoy the show. Agus Sinna Wilmsa.
Shanna Fina Fa Ata Fria Legaren Wayne Darsley Hortenderone Kuen Fui invite Besir Shanchir Shanchar Fasta Liag for Frinchir Arna Frintra Anak Dahim Savarna Well Legan or Gale Hon Wash No Sail Lega Leiscrea Fui Lavak Nabiler Shalif Connie Aron Vin.
Die Jevigin Usle, Limommer Kaamcha, Ukran Naomh Cille, and Charcui Bio or Talcaneering in County Fort Larga, in the year of Fort Larga. Greetings one and all from Talon, West Waterford. We've long established close friendship with our sister club Naomh Cille in Tyrone. I'm fortunate enough to have a foot in both camps. It's a great honour. Though I'm geographically removed from Naomh Cille, my spirit is there, and I stay in contact through the committee WhatsApp group as well as updates from Damien, Collie and Joe and others. You couldn't but be impressed by the pace of development and commitment of all involved in the club. When I saw Eamon Campbell's number flashing up, I knew he was a man on a mission. Eamon doesn't waste a phone call and idle gossip or small talk. And it's great really to see Eamon back involved again. Down through the years he's been a great assistance in Naomh Cille. I want to take this opportunity to wish him and the club well with the online concert fundraiser, and I would urge people to subscribe so the good work may continue. Sin Ceolchoirm live, na dengi darudanish. Please donate. Slánnig Spanacht Ori Villig on Deja.
Good morning, Eve. Big hello to everybody there from the Naomh Colum Cille family. It's a growing family and increasingly spread throughout the world. So I'm going to inflict a poem that I wrote for the banquet, the 25-year celebration back in 2011. It was a great night in Armagh City Hotel. So I hope you enjoy it. The club is so important in terms of sporting and social, all the good that it does. So for a great club, it takes great money. So if you can follow the links and donate, that would be much, much appreciated. So here we go. This is called the Ballad of the Kills. In 1986, lacking any skill, lacking any sticks, with damn all else bar youthful will, was born our club, Naomh Colum Cille. Back then hairstyles were big and money was small, and the only sport locally was Gaelic football. Hurling was uncool, many did laugh and titter, but we were hooked on ash, addicted to slither. Behind Lower Anaher's red brick houses we cleared us some ground. Posts were erected, a lock of hurleys were found. Teams were lined out, the ball thrown in, our first wee local match both sides wanted to win. A fine point was soon pucked over, into winds it did fall. Alas, like Hitler in the song, we had only the one ball. Match was abandoned, but no use in complaining. What we needed was a real hurling man to lead us in training. Henry McNally answered the call, knowledgeable in hurling though not very tall. In our first session our poor skills could not be hid. He sat observing Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid, and us trying to impress with our striking and blocking. Our attempts were putrid, dangerous and shocking. To aid him, Mulcahy got quickly on board, a big black-haired fella from County Waterford. Now the first thing, said Henry, is to get the ground hurling right. We perfected our swings, not a slither in sight. We worked on our skills, many long hours we spent. The coach would settle for no less than 100%. And well I remember the early games we had. Our first one against Lavey, we were far worse than bad. The club's ever first score was against Dungiven. I can't mind who by. It was less of a shot and more of a try. As for the players, they can't all be recalled. You wouldn't recognise them today, being so grey and so bald. But if I was pushed, I might name a few. Duffins, McGlinchey, O'Neill, McCann and Mulgrew. Corr from Derrylaughan and some men from the Hill. Fitzy, McLernan and Haggin, all for Naomh Colum Cille. In the 90s we continued with our mad hurling scheme. We progressed from juvenile to full senior team. We trained all over Clonogh, Brackenville, St Joseph's School, the Loch Shore, under lights at the Hill. Now, there was one new aspect to the Naomh Colum Cille, the weekly club notes. Once they described a training session on a day fit only for goats. The gale blowing from the loch made it difficult to stand, and to count the participants you only needed the one hand. Times like that you'd ask yourself, am I wise in the head? I'd be better off in Baldos or back in my bed. But while we were struggling in the rain, feeling a bit solemn, the sun seemed to shine in the NCC weekly news column. Saturday last, Derrylaughan echoed with the clash of the ash. 4 dozen hardy hurlers, brave, skillful and brash. Sideline cuts from 70 yards and overhead pulling. Such stuff has not been seen since the days of Colum. For those who read these lies, and I'm told there were many, they would have thought that this was a report on Tip or Kilkenny. There were new names for the Kills now. O'Neill's from the Glen, Philly Jackson, Tommy Nixon and other young men. Tony Cassidy, Paul Hughes gave and took the odd knock, as did a couple of hardwalls and that man called Roadblock. Ferguson, O'Hagan, Murphy and Adrian Hughes would all play their hearts out, win, draw or lose. And that tribe who were pure hurling right to their core, never was there a team sheet without an O'Neill Moore. All, however, was not plain hurling. Funds had to be procured. We sold raffle tickets, looked sponsorship, we traipsed and we toured. We needed a boost to improve our finance. Eamon Campbell had the idea. We'll hold a barn dance. Now this was not unusual from he of the highest van, never short of a scheme or a semi-legal plan. Drink and music was organised for one hell of a night. So clean was Canavan's shed, you could hardly smell the cow shite. A powerful night was had. There was no twisting or sparring. There was jiving and grooving and some fine air guitaring. Thank God the law stayed away, though over us a chopper once hovered. As regards insurance and legalities, we hadn't much bothered. Indeed, we were always good at the socialising. 'Twas all a bit mental. Dinner dances and storytelling, discos in the central. Who could forget Liam Griffin's speech at one dinner dance? His passion and enthusiasm left us all in a trance. And though this went on, to tell the honest truth, we focused our energies into developing the youth. One trip to headquarters in '85 I'll never forget. There were questions before we reached the Moy. Are we nearly there yet? Our under-12 stepped out onto hallowed Crook Park, and they hurled like wee madmen till winter sky grew dark. And as time for departure soon drew near, they each felt the need for a nice souvenir. And holes were left gaping in Croker's sacred sod, as the lads with their Hurleys each dug out a clod. Frankie and Mick Moore would have the same men back someday. Some of these same men, well, they'd plenty of time to get it fixed before 2010. So, the green grass of Crook Park still grows secretly to this day, from the gardens of the Glen to lawns by Loch Ness. So now when I'm on the road, travelling down towards Clog, I see a glorious field on what once was pure bog. I see the red and black flags all fluttering and curling. The kills now have their home, their own place to hurl in. Some players and members have now passed on, more than a few. But of Park Colum, Cille, I'll bet they now have the best view.
Hello, I'm Liam McElvanna. I'm a senior hurler with Naomh Colum Cille, and I have also represented them at Score. I hope everybody's enjoying the concert. Hopefully we'll get back to a bit more live music in the not too distant future. But until then, I'm going to sing a song for you. I originally heard it from the Dubliners many years ago, and recently heard a version of it performed by the Mary Wallopers, a band from Drogheda, and I like their version, so that's the one I'm going to play for you now. It's a song called Building Up and Tearing England Down. I have one hero's name, with McAlpine and Costain, with Fitzpatrick, Murphy, Hash and Whippy's gang. I've been often on the road, on my way to draw the dough, when there's nothing left to do for Johnny Lang. And I used to think that God made the mixer pick and hot, so that Paddy might know hell above the ground. I've had gangers, big and tough, tell me tear it all out rough, when you're building up and tearing England down. I remember Carrier Jack, he wore a hat upon his back, and he swore one day he'd set the world on fire. But his face we've never seen, since his shovel it cut clean through the middle of a big high tension wire. And I saw Balls McCall from the big flyover fall into a concrete mixer spinning round. Though it was not his intent, he gained a fine head of cement when he was building up and tearing England down. I was on the hydro dam the day that Pat McCann got the better of his stammer in a week. He fell from the shuttering jam, and that poor old stuttering man, he was never ever more inclined to speak. And no more like Robin Hood will he roam through Cricklewood, or dance around the pubs of Camden Town. Oh, well, let no man complain that no navvy dies in vain, he's building up and tearing England down. In a tunnel underground, a young Limerick man was found. He was built into the new Victoria line. And when the bonus gang had passed thick into the concrete cast was the face of little Charlie Joe Devine. And the ganger man McGurk said Big Paddy ain't the work, when a gas pipe burst and he flew off the ground. Well, I swear, he said, don't slack, won't be long until I'm back. Keep on building up and tearing England down. So come on, you navvies bold, who do think that English gold is just waiting to be plucked from every sod? Or that the likes of you and me will ever get an OBE, or a knighthood for good service to the Hod. They're the complete master race, built to keep you in your place, and a ganger man to kick you to the ground. If you ever try to take part of what the bosses pay, when you're building up and tearing England down. If you ever try to take part of what the bosses make, when you're building up and tearing England down.
Gee, Vicarja Banachti Olis Clar, Umsha Owen Ugsomahar Eugene, tell her oring big Shenyum Divan Act Sakate Ceolchoirm NCC, Shaw Hug of Couple of Port.
Hello folks, this is Justin Dillon here in Canada. Some of you hopefully still remember me as JD, although at this stage probably some of the older folks only. Hope you're all having a great night, would love to be there. I have been involved with the club, I guess, for many years, since the very beginning. I'm pretty sure I played on all the first versions of the teams, right from under 12 through to senior. Was a big part of my life as a youth, and as an adult I was treasurer for a few years and also club chairman. So the impact the club's had on me and on youth through many years at this point has been amazing. At this stage, you know, I still watch and follow the exploits of the club from a distance. It's been fantastic to see the progress on the achievements, especially the amazing facilities on pitch down there at Clog now. It's just great. I love when I do get a chance to get home to go down and see and take in a game, even if I'm really lucky. So hopefully I get a chance to travel again soon, catch up with you. Would love to be there tonight. Maybe next time it'll work out better. In the meantime, though, have a great night. Please remember the club. It's had a massive contribution to the community and the youth in particular for many years now, and continues to do so. But it does take a lot of energy, hours, and finance to keep that going. So please keep the club in your thoughts with your volunteer hours and your financial support if you can at all. So have a great night, and hopefully see you all soon. Bye.
Hello to everybody in Naomh, Colum, Cille. I'm Terence McSweeney, Chairman of Talent in Talent County Waterford. On behalf of the club, I'd like to wish you all the best in your upcoming online concert. Hopefully you'll raise plenty of funds to keep the club going. In the times that we're in at the moment, we hope that you're all keeping safe, and we can't wait to see you again back here on this field where we've had many a good day. All the best, and stay safe until we meet again.
Hi folks, this is Raymond O'Hagan here. I'm delighted to be involved in this online event for Naomh Colum Cille. I moved onto the area about 5 years ago, originally from Ballads, County Derry. So this is a recitation that I've put together myself. I had a bit of success with it with Ballads, and I've had a bit of success with it with Naomh Colum Cille in the score last year. So I hope you enjoy it and enjoy the night. Have plenty of crack. And don't be scared to put your hand in the pocket or click the button for the tip jar. Enjoy the recitation, and thanks very much. My name is O'Hagan. I'm from Derry's rugged hills. I fell in love with a Tyrone girl, and I've ended up supporting the Kills. Now this is my recitation, my poem, my thesis, my tale of why I have such a strong passion and love for common lewd class scale. You see, it starts out when you're a youngster. Before your hair begins to curl, your granny buys you the football and your granda buys you the hurl. Your uncle gets you the helmet and your auntie, she buys the gear. You've smashed up most of the Denby and you're not even walking a year. Then it's off to your first training session, with your jersey down round your knees, your head's on this huge big helmet, and your fingers are starting to freeze. You do drills and skills and tackling. You play games and matches for fun. You've just started a lifelong commitment. Unaware, the addiction's begun, for you'll be hooked from now to your 90. First playing, then managing teams, you'll be the cause of much inspiration. With the power to make or break dreams. Well, we used to get lifted for matches, and we'd pile into the back of a car. It was Matt Bradley's old Opel Ascona, and we'd be packed like sardines in a jar, for we'd be watching to see if he's coming. And there he'd be with the mud flaps scraping the floor. There'd be 11 or 12 in that motor, but he always had room for one more. You see, there's people like Matt, God rest him, is the soul of the GAA, for they've made our clubs and our counties the great things they are today. And I remember my first trip to Dublin, to play Tyrone in the National League, to be in Croke Park watching a final. I was filled with such awe and intrigue. I was in the Nally stand with my 3 bigger brothers when Tohus 45 free hit the net to win in those last dying seconds. It's a moment I'll never forget, for I was roaring and laughing and shouting, and my smile had a radiant glow. Then my brothers, they just started sprinting, saying, Raymond, come on, we must go. So wondering where was the fire as we legged our way down Jones's Road, I was asking, why are we running? You'd nearly think I was speaking in code, for I wanted to be back down in Croker, amongst the glory, the noise and the dins. When my brother said, Raymond, it's important, we must get a seat up in Quinn's. And what about playing in the championship? It's a dream I've had since I was a cub, to pull on the red and black jersey and run onto the field as a sub, to play with the boys you grew up, to battle, support and defend. These are the fellas you believe in, who you know will fight to the end. Well, a fella once told me a story about a championship speech at half time. They were playing in their first county final and they were down 2-12 to 1-9. Well, the manager was ripping and tearing, slamming doors, banging hurls off the wall. He was psyching them up for their battle, and they were ready to answer that call. But he pulled a sly move that surprised him. There came a timid wee knock on the door, and in stepped Tommy Joe from the 3 in a row to lift them that little bit more. Well, the studs were clattering and rattling, and the hurls were tapping the floor. And then Tommy Joe, he started to speak, and his voice cut straight to the core. Says Tommy, the way that I see it, how you're hurling and then 6 points up, the longer you stay in this changing room, the longer you'll stay in this cup. But Tommy Joe's speech was insightful, for they went out and they beat them by 3. They were crowned the under-12 champions, Division 2 Blitz, Section B. You see, it's the unity, the commitment, the culture, it's the rivalries, the heartbreak and the pain. It's the forming of the lifelong friendships that makes us keep playing our games. It's the volunteers, managers and coaches, and it's the one that makes you the tea. It's your given unselfish approaches. That sums up the GAA to me. So,
good morning everyone. We are 4/5 of the Naomh Colum Cille score group that we were Tyrone winners in 2005. We went on to get into the Ulster final, and unfortunately that wasn't our day. I just wanted to introduce the musicians here with us today. So far right is John Quinn on flute, Collie McClernon on guitar, myself, Mary on fiddle, and Lisa Graham on piano accordion. And we would like to also acknowledge Paddy McKenna, who played banjo with us that night, and he is in far off climes at the moment. So we're going to play a set of tunes. The first one is Tripping Upstairs, the second one is The Blackthorn Stick, and then the third one is Going to the Well for Water. Alright?
Quinn, former chairman of Naomh Colum Gill, played a wee bit, wasn't that good at it, but that's me. And still go to view an odd game there, so good luck to you lads in your venture for the incoming year and the times we're living in. So good luck to you all, and hope it's a safer and brighter future for everyone. Henry McGrath won to keep the old spirits up. It's one he probably won the board of Armagh, I think, right, and he passed away last year. Now, this tale I'm going to tell you about the time that I was ill, and I had to go to hospital to a place called Daisy Hill. It was for an operation, a thing I never had before, but it was only a forerunner for what really lay in store. Now the North Sea was terrible nice and tell me to undress, and I just dropped the trousers that she took off the rest. So I pulled off the long johns as they lay upon the floor. She said, don't be embarrassed, I've seen it all before. Well, I tried to hide my essentials by closing in my feet. Then she pushed me on that trolley bed and covered me with a sheet. Next thing she was handed a razor by a member of her staff. She says, he even blink an eye, I'll cut the whole lot off. Then she started pumping up my arm till it was fit to burst. Took my pulse and temperature and said, you're going first. Then asked that wife of mine some questions, like my age and occupation, and asked me had I made a will before my operation. Then she started jacking up the bed till it was rather high, and then they took me out of the ward as I waved my friends goodbye. Well, they took me till this great big room. It was such a scary place. Not one there did I recognise, 'cause they had hankies over their face. Well, after that I must have died, but I never met the Lord, for about 7 hours later I was back up in the ward. There was a drip above my head, but you talk about the pain. You'd swore that I'd been hit with something as heavy as a train. Well, there's a nurse was right beside me. She says for me to rest. She says I'm here to help you, and right enough she tried her best. The next morning the nurse walked me up the ward and took me to the toilet. She says, go on in there, McGrath, for now you have to try it. Well, when she come back again, she says, has you finished or have you started? Says I, daughter, with a tear in my eye, I haven't even farted. Ah, she says, I'll leave you another while. Good job the place was heated, for I could hear the patients out in the ward saying that crater's constipated. But then after that my water wokes did flow. I used to call it other things, but that was long ago. And then when she come back again, she said, at least your water wokes is woked. Says I, daughter, God help me, for the rest of me is cart. She says, come on, get back to bed and we'll soon remedy that. Whatever the hell she give me, I just went like a shot. Well, I was so embarrassed. What was I to do? I believe you could have tracked me the whole road to the loo. And at that particular moment, oh, I did sorely cry, for then I didn't care if I ever lived or died. And then she got me back to bed and gave me an extra sheet, and whatever tablet she gave me, I soon was fast asleep. The next morning I awoke, such a change come over me. I walked myself to the toilet, had an SH and done a pee. And then I went back again, they offered me some dinner, but I just stuck to the tea, thinking of a couple of friends of mine who during the night had passed away. Well, the next brown morning, bright and early, she said, get on the phone and phone that charming wife of yours and tell her you're going home. Well, now I'm back in my old shack, and I never made no will, but I'll not forget my stay in the hospital at Daisy Hill.
G'day Tashiv agus Dave to all the NCC diaspora, from Philadelphia to Townsville and from Clog to San Diego and all the places in between. It's a great honour to be asked to perform a song for this, the first ever online concert provided by Naomh Colum Cille Hurling Club and Camogie Club, in fact. I've chosen a song I've written myself. It's a song called The Ballad of Peggy Bunt, and it's written about a woman who's buried at the bottom of Clog Hill, just about half a mile from my doorstep here. Not many people know much about her, myself included, and this song is more a series of questions than a list of answers. And I'm going to give it to you here now, but just before I do, I just remind you all, hit the donate button and donate generously to keep the oil in the engine. And Amor Orov, hopefully see us all in person soon, and the next time we're performing we'll be gathered together in a hall somewhere. So Amor Orov Arish Agus, I'll give you a few bars of this one. The Ballad of Peggy Bunt. Have you ever heard of Peggy Bunt? She was caught by a hoof at the heel of a hunt. She's buried at the crossroads, no stone marks her grave. Oh, they say that her soul can't be saved. Some say she was a woman of ill repute. No living man that fact can dispute. How she lived was no one's business but her own. No reason for her to be disowned. Peggy, 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 Peggy Bunt was caught by a hoof at the heel of a hunt. And she's buried at the crossroads, no stone marks her grave. Oh, they say that her soul can't be saved. Did she practice religion or ever go to mass? Would she have the neighbours if ever they asked? When she died, though no plot could be found, she was barred from the consecrated ground. Peggy, 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 Peggy Bunt was caught by a hoof at the heel of a hunt. And she's buried at the crossroads, no stone marks her grave. Oh, they say that her soul can't be saved. When they washed her and wrapped her, laid her in the ground, very few people gathered around. All who knew her when she was alive ignored her as soon as she died. Now she lies beneath the tarmac in the middle of the road. The people pass over not knowing what's below. But I'll sing this song so that her memory never dies, in the hope that she is peaceful where she lies. Peggy, 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 Peggy Bunt was caught by a hoof at the heel of a hunt. She's buried at the crossroads, no stone marks her grave. Oh, they say that her soul can't be saved. Oh, they say that her soul can't be saved. Don't forget to donate.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope you're really enjoying the show so far. It's some welcome relief, I'm sure, from what has been a tough year for everyone. After speaking with my brother Tom, it seems like the youth is going great for the club at the moment, and that's great to hear. It was just an unbelievable thing for myself growing up, and it makes me very proud that yous are still blooding the next generation and putting some great work in. Over here in California, the Wild Geese, we are back training. We've got a few games coming up. We'll be heading to the Nationals in Boston, playing both codes, hurling and Gaelic football. So hopefully at some point in the coming years we'll have the Kills over for a good couple of games and maybe a few beers, I'm sure. I still hope that can happen at some point. Anyways, lads, enjoy the night. God bless. Cheers.
Hello everybody, my name is Naomh and I'm from Colum. I'm currently living in Naomh in Queensland. It's been about 20 years since Eamon asked me to sing at the score representing Naomh Colum Cille. I have a strong connection with Naomh Colum Cille through the O'Neill family. Joanne and I have been friends for many years and we even lived together in Liverpool. During that time in Liverpool, Tommy McGuire introduced me to my husband, Robert McElhone. Rob is a keen footballer and played for St Andrews in Glengormley. I just wish you all the best and I hope you raise lots of money for your club. I do miss being at home, but as you can see, we are living in a little piece of paradise.
Hello, my name's Willie Lyons. Liam asked me to give a bit of background, introduce myself. So I played with NCC back in 2008 for a year when I was roped in by Tommy Nixon. The highlight of the year was probably Eddie Taggart's performance against Rash Harkin, where he pulled his weight for once in the half-back line. It was nice to see. Probably struggled a bit myself that year trying to get into it. Frankie was giving me an awful hard time. And but I suppose Joe Moore and Sean Moore guided me through, and Rory was inside just saying let a few balls in. Even though you could be contrary enough, you wanted left into the hand, this ball into the space, crack with him running after it. So yes, that's a bit of my background anyway. Liam's let me know that you're doing an online concert night and people send in videos. So I've no talent myself to send in, but would like to wish everyone the very best and that everyone has a successful night. No doubt it will be good, and NCC a boot.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, hope you are all enjoying the show this evening. My name is Peter Kyle and I just want to fill you in on my link to Naomh Colum Cille. About 15 or 16 years ago I played for Naomh Colum Cille, but it wasn't on the pitch, but in fact on stage representing the club at the score. Brings back great memories. All of us jammed into the back of Eamon Campbell's high-ace van, sitting on our wee hard stools. I'll not mention Eamon's rally driving that night, the whole cut up Dahar yarn. But anyway, I'll get on with this, and don't forget to donate into that tip jar. Last night as I lay dreaming of pleasant days gone by, me mind being bent on rambling to Ireland's Isle to fly. I stepped on board a vision and followed with the will. was on the 23rd of June, the day before the fair, when Ireland's sons and daughters were all assembled there. The young, the old, the brave and the bold, their duty to fulfill at the little church in Clue, a mile from Spansel Hill. I went to see me neighbour, to see what they might say. The old ones, they were dead and gone, the young ones turning grey. I met with Taylor Quigley, he's as bald as ever still. Sure, he used to make me breeches when I lived in Spansel Hill. I paid a flying visit to my first and only love. She's as fair as any lily and as gentle as a dove. She threw her arms around me, saying, Johnny, I love you still. Sure, she's Meg, the ranger's daughter, and the pride of Spansel Hill. I dreamt I held and kissed her as in the days of yore. She says, Johnny, you're only joking, like many's the time before. The cock crew in the morning, he crew both loud and shrill. And I awoke in California, many miles from Spansel Hill. Up the kill.
Hello everybody, and thanks for joining this Naomh Colum Cille concert here this evening. Hope everything's going well, and this concert's basically been organised to try to help raise awareness of the club, try and connect with members of the community, and letting our friends and family, both close and far, let everyone know how we're getting on. I've been asked to do a recitation which I completed almost 20 years ago now, in the Ulster Score and the Tyrone Score. It was a good experience doing the Score one, which I enjoyed, and I've some great memories made during that time. I haven't really done this since that, so you'll forgive me if I have to use a wee help off the sheet here. But this poem is called Getting Dressed by Patsy O'Hagan. Getting Dressed by Patsy O'Hagan. If there's one thing on earth that makes me depressed, it's sitting waiting on the wife getting dressed. I swear to watch her, she would drive you insane. Some for antics I'll try and explain. So we've been asked out till this fancy do, and I'm sitting shining from my head to my shoe. I've shampooed and I've shaved, I've had a wee shower. All done, you might say, in the third of an hour. But Maggie, she's different, I'll have you to know. I can't think of a word that's slower than slow. Now she'll not take a shower in case she might slide, so the bathtub's filled up and riddocks are played. She slops and she splashes, she sings and she laughs. You would swear there was a crocodile let loose in our bath. She rubs and she scrubs, and on her she got set. It's tied up with a scarf in case it gets wet. Then she dries herself well with 4 towels or more, and the powder she uses, well, it's like snow on the floor. I believe our Maggie's a magician, because from this wee box with a flap, our Maggie can produce a full chemist shop. There's creams and there's lotions, all colours so bright, and wee dainty paint brushes buys their sight. There's lipstick, there's polish, there's bottles of spray, and wee things to pull out those hairs that's torn grey. Now her makeup is on and she's powdered her nose, but the worst bit of all is when she's picking her clothes. There's no saying on earth a bat will compare as a woman complaining, I've nothing to wear. Now in front of the wardrobe she twists and she whinges, and the bloody thing sitting stuffed to the hinges, with dresses all sizes, all colours so gay, some meant for the sunshine or for a cold winter's day. So with one hand on her hinge and one on her chin, she examines the contents that's hanging within. Then the clanging of hangers rings aloud in my head as a dozen or so outfits are just flung on the bed. Now I sit and say nothing, for I know that it's best. I'm sitting ready and she's the one that's not dressed. Now in front of the mirror she'll stand and she'll grin, the first one tried on, as she pulls herself in. She'll pivot, she'll smile, she'll pose and she'll swear, that doesn't look right, as she throws it away. The next one's the same, she tries, then she throws, still complaining, I've no bloody clothes. Well, I try to ignore her, though she's hard for to miss. Then my attention she demands, do I look all right in this? Oh Maggie, it's perfect, is my instant reply. And may God forgive me if I've tell her a lie. For this waiting and watching would drive you till tears. I've been watching her antics this 20 odd years. And the more that I watch her, I think she's not wise. When she's picking her clothes, does she not think of her size? Or maybe it's me, I'm just easy depressed. Or is this the dumb thing when any woman gets dressed? She's me all confused. I'm in a terrible state. The do was at 9. It's now 10. And we're late. Sinead, thanks. See you later.
Hey everyone, D McVeigh here in Perth, Western Australia. I thought I'd just jump on, leave you a quick message. I hope you're enjoying the concert so far. I know it's been quite a challenging 12 plus months for a lot of people, but I hope you are holding up okay. The beauty of Naomh Colum Cille, we're a very close club. We look after each other, so if there anybody is struggling now at the minute with everything that's going, don't be afraid to reach out to someone, alright? You can even give me a call and have a yarn as well. I hope you're all keeping well. I've got a very special guest here, Oscar Liam McVeigh. Oscar, do you want to give them a thumbs up and say up the kills? What? Up the kills, what about up the Rollies? What do you say? Look at them, tell them. And up the kills. Yeah, good stuff. Hope you're all keeping well, guys. Enjoy the concert and look after yourselves. Take care. Ciao.
Good Isla, agus a card leg galar, es Misha Eamon McCaffwell. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, Eamon Campbell here. First of all, I'm really glad and delighted to be part of putting this online concert for our Hurling Club together. I firstly want to thank Tom Connolly and Liam McElvanna and also Eugene O'Neill for editing and being a part of this, making it happen. So I know everyone who's taken part in this concert, I thank them also. But I'm going to do a song, or I'm going to sing a song, I'm going to tell a song. And it's written by a great fella. It was written by a fella from Cille called Sean Moe, and it's called Willie McBride. Now, anybody that would, if you hear the song Willie McBride, you'll think of Eric Bogle's version, but this is an alternative version. It's my favourite. I love it, and so hope you enjoy it. So thank you very much. Slán. Do you know that old song? It's called Willie McBride. If I hear it once more, it will turn me inside. For it's sung in the springtime, it's sung in the fall, and mostly from people who can't sing at all. You go out to the town on a Saturday night for a pint and a song, everything seems alright. And some drunken bowsie'll sit down by your side and say, give us that one about Willie McBride. Now you say you don't know it, and that will not do, for now he's determined to sing it to you. He spills half your drink as he starts in a key that never was invented on land or on sea. And as time goes by, sure, the whole thing gets worse, 'cause you now realise he knows every verse. With his arm around your shoulder, for now he's your friend, he's determined to sing this damn song to the end. You'll go out to the Jacks for a quarter of an hour. You'll watch the TV in the old public bar. When you come back, you'll sure he'll retire, but he's still going on about Yass and Bob Wire. And his eyes are tight closed as if in a trance. He's up till his arse in the green fields of France. The crowd is all quiet, there's not even a peep. Does he not realise they have all went to sleep? Now, Willie McBride, just what is your game? Lying up there in a brown leathered frame that we used to think was so precious and fair. They could be bought down at Woolworths at 2 bob a pair. And I'm sick of your whinging about Bob Wire and smoke. And why did you join if you couldn't take a joke? Who said all those Germans should have all the crack? Did nobody tell you you're allowed to shoot back? Now, Willie McBride, why did you have to die? All the trouble you'd have saved if you'd come back alive. Get a wee job, maybe sing on the brew. We wouldn't have had to listen to the song about you. But just when I think of it, I'm glad that you're dead. The green fields of France piled on top of your head. All the trouble you caused since the day that you died. Shooting was too good for you, Willie McBride.
Tíre hard to get agus false over leg hig chas sugging and af chaffa cahol fine our bard den Ceolchoirm Colum Smisha Padam Cahol Shaw Cassie Nick Cahol. It's a great honour to be asked to play or to do something for the club. Great club doing a lot of work on the hurling field, and our son singing in Yale, the Irish language in the area of Foster. Tonight we're going to play a couple of tunes. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you can support the club in any way possible. For a kid, Mikey.
Concerto. Is deis aontachaí a bheith sénim díobh agus náidean dearmid mór daceach de haispeint agus beidir coppla font a chéithú Drawing Club gur mágah.
Sin bhfuil le chéile agus an súlam gur bhain sibh sult agus pléisiúr as ar céad ceolchoirm ar líne riamh. Ar is just míle buíochas dahan duine a chodí líon ar gáid ar bí. Agus bhhaidlam just focal special de a thuirt dar múintear th sáile agus do ar glúd chomrádaithe is na néise cumálú glas céal thulaigh an dhearan. Just Rud eile, just higlibh takeíocht the thuirt doing go fáil ar an ag an nás GoFundMe is atá ar fáil ar leithanaí Facebook, Twitter, Instagram agus ins na grúpaí WhatsApp éagsúla atá agin in sa club. So mas couple of punt le spáil agad bei sin a codú mór doing hon ar club a cheanneal a gáil. So sin agus gur míle maithug agam se a lig go léir a ríist agus is ihahaid agus colú sao. So just a couple of words to say in English. That's it, folks, for the concert. I hope you really enjoyed it, and it's great. It's our first ever online concert, and hopefully there'll be more. I'd like just to thank anybody at all who helped in any way, and especially the subgroup who worked very, very hard to put it all together. And I just want a wee special word to our people who are overseas. There's a lot of messages from people all over the world there, and also our close sister club down in the Dacia, Tallow in West Waterford there. And also we couldn't have done this without the backing of our local Creve, Ceolchoirm in Ullin agus Cluan, the local Colum Naomh Ceolchoirm branch. So again, you can still support us. The link, the GoFundMe link, is on our Facebook pages, our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages, and on all our various WhatsApp groups in the club. So you can go there and make a wee donation if you've a few pounds to spare. It'll help us greatly to keep the show on the road. So just want to thank everybody again from the bottom of our hearts, and good night and sleep tight.
I didn't sleep at all last night, I stayed up till the dawn, banging out the jigs and reels till everyone had gone, singing some old shut-eyed song I hadn't sung for years, knocking back the brandy and the beer. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. I had one bag too many just as I was set to leave. I was loaded down with bacon and with sausages and tea. And I couldn't find my ticket as I'm walking out the door, till I emptied all my bags out on the floor. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. On board the plane, I sip a drink while waiting for the meal. Just try not to let my head know how my stomach feels. There's a baby right behind me making sure that I won't sleep, and the flight's too full to find another seat. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. I fell asleep at last just as the plane is touching down, and I aged 10 years just waiting for the bags to come around. And I make it home at last and I'm barely unpacked when I'm already making plans to go again. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but it's sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, but it's hard to say goodbye.